So we have the first in the series of the snow trip. We're going down south a bit. Hopefully it'll be nice and sunny and warm, and there's still snow up top. So the first of the holiday series, and I'll be brief. I went to ceramic crystal the wheels yesterday, and then realised there's a 6-hour drying time. Anyway, I'm going to do them on a bench or on the floor, sitting that way, and do the whole inside. Centra have provided enough to do it and make mistakes, that little bottle. So that's why I've seen online people like the ceramic wheel crystal's just excessive, environmental something, but it can crack if it runs, and you know you've got to do it properly. And buff off. So obviously if you make a mistake, quickly get rid of it and then do it again. Excuse me. So I have fine crystalled the car with the spray yesterday. I washed it. It's really nice to do, and it's really enjoyable sort of thing to do when the car's wet. Now regarding the Yokohama tyres, are they hard? Are they soft? And I believe they're not. They're hard like the other series Sport Max had. And it's a good question, mate. As they've killed the feel of centre steering and, you know, braking application feel. Therefore, I don't know. So it's a brilliant question. I don't know. Are the tyres hard or soft? I don't know. They don't squeal much at all. But the way the torque vectoring and the way they've changed this car, the way it turns and snaps itself back in, I got one chirp out of it when it was actually braking in track mode on that back wheel around a corner. And it pulled the car in so sharply. I mean, they seem excessive for the car, and the chassis is excessive for the engine. So yeah, anyway, so I parked it here last night because I went to my son's play. So I went like that. I crystalled the windows with the spray, but I mean, it felt like it wouldn't come off last night. But let's have a look. So that was about half an hour after I finished crystalling it. And also I deliberately didn't buff it off and over-applied it to test it, right? So I'm wrecking my own car if I do, but it's not, see, and that's it. I can feel it. I can see it. I left it on thick here, and yesterday when I got home I was rubbing, and then now I can feel it. It's just turned into glass powder. So I've left it on thickly there, and here, and here, right? I'm not to say I didn't buff it off, but I've left it on. I can feel it. I've left it a bit on. Because bear in mind, you hose the car after you do it. I don't know if I've mentioned that. You hose the car after you do it. Anyway, let's I've got to go and get my the kids. The ex-wife's at work, shame. But someone's on holidays again, and it's me. Anyway, I'll turn this hose on. This hose is a bit like a fire hydrant in this building. It's really cool. It's like the car, like in life, when you get surprises, like when you don't check things out too much. I didn't know the building had this. In fact, I didn't see the unit that I rented. I just rented it off the floor plan. And it's a bit like this car. The floor plan of this car is the only horizontally opposed front-mounted car in the world. The Subarus. So straight away, Subaru's unique. And add what we love about it, that's why they're the best cars. Right, there's nothing like them. Oh, I just hosed my whole car. Oh well, now I've got to do the whole thing. Oh well. So this is the second time I applied the fine crystal. So I washed it for the first time the other night when I made that video. I didn't mean to now wet the whole car, but I didn't want to touch that batshit fig shit stuff. I wanted it to come off by itself, because it's maybe like chips in the oven, you know, like if they stick, you just keep cooking them and they unstick when they're done or overdone. That stuff wouldn't move yesterday. I put my hand on the boot, or on the trunk as you guys call in the States, and it felt like it was like super glue. So I thought, oh, I'm not wrecking my car. So it should come off. Carnauba wax would be coming off too. There's nothing miraculous about that. But nevertheless, let's see. So also yesterday I washed it with a basic wash, and I didn't scrub hard. I'm changed my ways, right? I'm learning. I dipped high in the bucket, I rinsed the sponge out, I always do the bottom last, but I was just really careful. But in saying that, I'm going to remember bring the whole car back with Mother's ultimate polish to then ceramic the car. So I want to learn about swirl marks. It's causing them that made me learn all this anyway. So yesterday I was like not tipping the bucket of water over the car for the first time in my life, I admit it. So that's just disgraceful. I didn't use any chamois, but what I did, I washed it with hot water to see if the first application would stay. Now I removed that application, but not in full. I reckon I removed 10% or 20% of it. I didn't over scrub, but I used hot water, and I worked that car over and over gently, top down, and the ceramic, and then I tested it. It had removed a little bit of it. The wheels got very smooth and lustrous after applying the fine ceramic crystal. They don't recommend it for wheels, but they don't not recommend it. If they're recommending doing the car when it's wet, right, what they mean is it spreads, it's fine. So yesterday, I fine crystal sprayed those trims, the mirrors, everything. Because then remember that you're going to use the bumper crystal on all these plastic bits. Right? Now, this is kind of cool, because what I'm going to do, it's a bit silly really, isn't it? But I'm fascinated by watermarks and how they're removed from the car. So I've caused watermarks that I've seen as stubborn to remove, and I heard in the back of my sleep when YouTube was on the other night, a guy saying something about ceramic and watermarks being really not good on ceramic. So, all right, this whole car was spotless, but it doesn't matter. It was driven 6 kilometers, so it's worthy of another wash, right? Don't mind me, I'm excited, guys. I'm going away a bit. Okay, one last one here. I overdid this area. I overdid the bumper because the back of the car gets filthy from the 242 grams per kilometre of CO2. So one last go there. So bear in mind, I've not checked the glass there, or the trunk, or the spoiler. There was bat shit all over there. Okay. I'll just hold the hose there. Ha ha. Give it a shake. Oops. Lady was looking at me. Okay, here we go. So see why it's become so easy to dry. Because in one conversation, right, you walk around the car and it's dried. So what have we got here? Let's see. It looks like it's all gone. I can't feel anything. There's nothing there. Okay. So if this video shuts off, I'll post again after. Meanwhile, I hastily packed just a little thing for the trip, just to, in case there's a spill or whatever in the car. So after I crystalled the car yesterday, and then I over crystalled it, then I put that applicator I used all over the wheels, and then I over crystalled the wheels. So it's like, okay. Sancho, you're getting an Australian product testing. It's like Subaru developing the suspension for Australia, which they haven't. But you're getting a product test now of ice. gravel. Hey, I have to admit it, there's risk of stone chip, of course, with this layout of this car, how they lowered the height by an inch. You get stone chips, but I never ceramic the car, but that's it. It gets stone chipped, it gets stone chipped. So I'll just give it a wipe, and then I'll take it for a little, very short dry up, and see if there's any watermarks that are beginning to be stubborn, and then get it all off just in time before they do. The ex-wife's going to start howling in a minute. Okay, so that's what I'll do. Take it for a rip. See, it is now happened, so I get up like I can't sleep, and I'll take it for a drive at 1 in the morning, and that's what you're meant to do when you get a car. But when I first got it, I just left it sitting there. I didn't realise how very much better it is. So yeah, those other questions, yes, it's better. Yes, it's a lot better. And I'm not enjoying the car as I should, because I'm constantly thinking about, how do they do that? How does it go over a speed hump now like a freaking Lexus? Literally like a Lexus over the sharpest speed humps on the golf courses and that. And then it corners like it's bloody on rails. But you don't really feel how tight the rails are till you're at high speed, because they've lost the steering feel and brake feel, and that has to be the most reasonable conclusion for now on the little information we have with what they've done. Surely they fatten the sway bars. Can someone find out? Just go in the North American Subaru download site, one of you that work there, and get the sway bar diameter out. It's not illegal. It's there for you guys to share. I'm sure Subaru should soon release a bit more information, unless it's all a hoax and there's nothing done to the car. So there's the back brakes are bigger, the discs are nearly as big as the old front ones, and there's more braking pressure. I assume they were the same calipers. So it's very hard to assume with Subaru. Every time you assume, there's something that you can't really predict that they do. So anyway, we'll wrap that up now. I made a video yesterday, so I did the interior for you guys. I emptied it out, I room waxed it, and I took everything out. So I'll give you a shot of it. It smells like the products have this ever so barely hint of a smell. But when it is, it's that Japanese candy smell. Like, it's just the most delicate, like, I don't know how to explain it. The car smells like a hotel inside. It's like don't know how to explain it. So the fine crystal spray as well, it's got this it's not tutti fruity, like, I don't know, like something really nice. Anyway, so that's that, and we'll do the Watermark test and then wrap it up for that, and then we'll post along the way. So I'm going to repeat the same trip as last time. Not that I detailed it, but I did mention, fully loaded, I went screaming down these winding roads, and the brakes heated up. Remember I said it? I got them to fade. So multiple braking at high speed of 100 and whatever k's an hour, and descending down a hill, I began to get brake fade. This car will not be getting any brake fade on that exact circuit. So we're going to repeat the same trip, but it wasn't detailed last time. But if you look at the videos, that trip, we stopped along the way. It's going to be the same thing. There will be no snow, I don't believe, or ice on the roads. And I'm not going to go back on the icy roads, even though I should, because it'll test this new setup. Because we don't have winter tyres like the US has. So it can be quite dangerous. Even in this car on the icy roads, it was. I mean, stopping it was just nearly impossible. It was that icy. It It was -4 or 6 at the time there, so we'll go past the top car park and do the Subaru count, even though the season has now just about officially ended. So yeah, everyone's going to work. Haha, not me. But it's not, you know, it's not a proper scam. Holidaying, I mean, it's a Friday. But when you leave on a Wednesday and shut a business, people are just, when you shut a small business, like when the gelato place in Newtown was closed, there's Gelato Blue in Newtown, a family business. When people walked up to the door and saw them closed, we thought they were all dead, God forbid. Like, it's like, oh my God, the gelato people have shut the doors. People need us, and we're very, it's hard. It's hard when you divert your phone to an answering machine and not take the people's calls. So that's what I've done this time. But anyway, have a good morning or evening wherever you are, and we will continue soon.